When traveling to Northwestern Ontario, variety's the name of the game. There's very many different species to go after here. This week we're at Cedar Island Lodge, just outside of the border town of Fort Frances, and they have 6 different species to go after. We'll talk about all the equipment, flies, and technique. I'm Bill Spicer. This is The New Fly Fisher.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Ontario Sunset Country Tourism Association, GoFishingOntario.com, Orvis Sporting Traditions, Scientific Anglers, Umpqua Feather Merchants, Superfly, fly fishing made easy.
Sunset Country in Northwestern Ontario covers a 60,000 square mile area of the Canadian Shield. Boasting thousands of lakes and rivers teeming with fish, Northwestern Ontario is home to some of the finest angling opportunities on Earth. Many are drive-to locations where you can trailer in your own boat and a truckload of gear. This week we visit Cedar Island Lodge, located only 50 miles from the border at International Falls, Minnesota. Most guests travel by vehicle to the secure parking area where the camp boat meets them. Located on Pipestone Lake, which is known for its excellent walleye, smallmouth or largemouth bass, northern pike, musky, and lake trout. It's the spring of the year in Northwestern Ontario, and you can run into summer-like conditions or, in my case, very frigid conditions. This will make fishing much more difficult until the weather warms. The best advice I've got to date when facing these conditions is to slow down, fish deep, and fish structure. That's a nice structure right there. Make sure you impart a darting slow retrieve on your fly. Make jerking motions with your rod tip, and this in turn will make your fly look like it's wounded. This will look like an easy meal to a fish. Fish on, just past a weed bed. And whenever you got structure, you got fish. That's a northern. Yeah, good man, thank you very much. Wow, now, not overly large, but it'll do. You got my thumb. That's my blood, people, not his. And away he goes.
We have lake trout fishing that is really great fighting fish. You can catch them in the shallows sometimes or in the deeps. We also have walleye. Everyone loves a walleye. They're also a good fighting sport fish. In the spring and late in the fall, bass. Actually, bass in the summertime really turns on too. We have plenty of bays for you to sneak in and catch yourself a bass. And then we also have musky that are quite dominant around here. They're the king of the lake. You have a chance of getting a nice sized musky. We also have pike. They're not quite as huge as the muskies, but you'll find yourself catching some nice pike, plenty of them, so it keeps your rod going.
Fish on. Whoa. Wowee. Feels good. Feels really good. Oh, wow. Not sure what I got yet. I've got a diving minnow type fly on. A friend of mine tied these They got a lip on them. They go down just like a rapella. So I wanted to get down deep, and this does, with a full sinking line. And I've got, I don't know if I got a northern or big lake trout or whatever it is, it's quite large. It's a lake trout. And it's a dandy. Lake trout in the spring, this is about the only time you can get them with a fly rod, is when they're up. The water's cold. We had snow yesterday. Oh yeah, this is quite a nice lake trout. Oh yeah. Oh, and he let go. Well, what can I say? You got him here. That was a majorly big fish to me. He pulled really hard. Let me show you what I was using. Graham Coombs, a friend of mine, tied this. It's got a lip on it, just like a rapella. It's all synthetic. It's not too bad to cast. Single hook, barbless. That was dandy. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to try that again. Now, when does one use a floating line, a sinking tip or a sinking leader, or a full sinking line? Well, you have to ask yourself a few questions. First off, how deep is the water? Well, if the water is only between 1 and 3 feet deep, I would say a floating line would be plenty. You may want to use a sinking fly if you need to get it down, but in dry fly situation, obviously a floating line you want. What if I need to get it down a little deeper? In a river situation, but it's not that far of a distance, 20, 30 feet. A sinking tip line or a sinking leader would be my choice. It would go down fast, swing in the current, and it would come up quickly. That's when you'd use that. When it's a short distance, you don't have to keep it in a certain depth for very long. Sinking tip. Now, why would I use a full sinking line, which are a little more difficult to cast? It's when I want to keep my fly at one depth for a longer period of time. When you cast out a full sinking line, you get it down to your depth, you start retrieving it, it will stay at that depth longer until you pretty much get to your boat, then it rises up. Where a sink tip will go down and rise up almost immediately. A full sinking line will not do that. It will stay in the kill zone longer.
We would like you to book 3 months ahead, just to make sure you get the cabin you require and the time you require. Everyone has a busy schedule these days, so it's good to get things organized, and then you can enjoy your holiday at Cedar Island Lodge. If you don't get where you want to, or you think of a last-minute trip, you can also call us, because we do have spots available throughout the summer, so please give us a call.
We can accommodate 28 people per week. We have 4 cabins. 1 bedroom cabin sleeps 4. 1 bedroom cabin sleeps 8. A 2 bedroom cabin sleeps 8 to 10, and a 3 bedroom cabin sleeps 8 to 10.
One of the advantages to fishing at Cedar Island Lodge is it's located in Zone 10 of Ontario, which has no closed season for bass. This presents an interesting problem to the angler that's not accustomed to fishing for them so early. Where will the fish be? Immediately after ice out, bass start to feed vigorously around shoals and incoming streams. This is where baits such as emerald shiners are concentrated. There we go. Right over on the rocks. Not all incoming streams and shoals will have active fish at the same time, so you must continually move until you find fish. Very nice fish. Very nice fish. Away she goes. One of the true pleasures when visiting Cedar Island Lodge is the shore lunches. Fish caught minutes before and grilled over hot coals create a meal like no other. Fresh fillets, pan-fried in a cast iron skillet, take on a special flavor when cooked beside the lake from which they were taken. Fish never tasted better than when cooked over a campfire and eaten while listening to the tranquil sounds of the water. When coming to Cedar Island Lodge, when fishing bass, I recommend a number 6 or a number 7 9-foot mid-action rod. I'd match that with a good drag system reel, floating line, and I'd add sinking tips and bring along a full sinking line too. For pike or musky or the lake trout, I would recommend a 9-foot number 8 or 9 weight tip action rod. The tip action gives you much more power to throw larger flies, plus sinking line systems. Match it with a large arbor, good drag system reel, and you'll have everything under control. Yeah, got him. Oh, it's a pike. Oh, good. I'm gonna need to check that. Now, I just had a pike hit me. Whenever a pike hits, even if you lose them, you gotta check your knot. Now, if you can see right by the knot on my loop, the line is fray. If you leave that fray, you're gonna break off. That's all there is to it. And this guy hit. It's a pike, I think. Yeah. Yeah, and a decent pike. Away he goes.
At Cedar Island Lodge, we offer the American Plan package where you can come and we'll cook for you and clean for you, and you can just fish. Our housekeeping plan, you can bring your own food, do your own cooking. The cabins are equipped with fridge and stove, all the necessary utensils to cook. Our business is based on repeat business. When you come, you're kind of part of the family. You know, you're welcome in the lodge anytime. If you want to help doing something, you're more than welcome to help. If you just want to sit around and talk with us, we'd be happy to visit with you. So it's a great place to come. It's just like coming home.
The fly got caught in the wood there for a bit. That was another hit. Oh, and another hit. Got him right there under the boat. Just as I was picking up, he grabbed it. Oh, it's a good fish too. All right, yeah. We have found some definite feeding bass. And this looks like another decent fish. Gotta get him out from underneath the boat. Boy, he's really pulling. The 6-weight is bent right over. I haven't even had a look at him yet. Oh, it's another good one. Oh, yeah. Now that's a Cedar Island smallmouth bass, isn't it? And look at that. When you're going bass fishing, do a little homework first and find out what forage is in the lake or the river that you're gonna fish. For instance, I have a crayfish pattern, I have a number of minnow patterns here, and I have some poppers. Now in the case of crayfish, which is a favorite bait of smallmouth bass, I have this crayfish pattern, which to the eye it doesn't look like much, but when it lands on the bottom, it's the same color as a crayfish and about the same size. And when you make it move in the proper fashion, it looks like a crayfish and will fool the fish. Now, minnow patterns, you got shiner minnows for bass. Your highlight here is the eyes. Whenever you choose any kind of minnow pattern, if you have eyes on it, it makes it more effective. So this would fool a bass into eating it. Another one is a marabou fly that you've heard me talk about many times on this program. This is called Scotty's McFly. And when this gets wet, it looks just like an emerald shiner. It's got the orange on the bottom, white on top, and underneath is a kind of a pearlescent body. This has just been one of the most deadly smallmouth patterns I've used in a number of years. Scotty's McFly. And never go anywhere without some sort of leech pattern. Leeches are in about every lake and every river, and the fish feed heavily on them. Even musky will eat leeches. Match the hatch, and when you retrieve it, try to make it do that. So you make it go up and down just by jerking on the line. Now, when the fishing's at its very best, poppers are what you want. Now, poppers in various colors, I'd have them in all colors and try all different ones because one might not work and the other one will. What they're looking for is frogs, mice that may be swimming on top, and you want to make as much noise as you can with these on top. This is when bass fishing is at its most fun. So I have a selection of chartreuse, black, green, yellow, red, and white. You never know what color they're going to hit. If they don't hit one color, try it for 5 or 10 minutes, then switch to another color. If they're on poppers, you're in for some fun. Way up there? Fish. Yep, another bass. I changed up colors. I had blue and white before, now I've gone completely white. They went off the blue and white. Whenever that happens, just change up. Try to keep it the same size, but change up colors and see what happens. And right now they've gone back to hitting white. Yeah, it's a decent bass. Ah, that's great. That's a good average bass that you get around here, isn't it, Todd?
Yeah, this is about the average for the lake. Sometimes they get a little bigger, but nice bass. He was real hungry, this one.
He ate that right down, didn't he? Yeah, good man. Nice bass. Excellent, excellent. There.
Does have a fish.
The fly fishing is great at Cedar Island Lodge, but for those that prefer the spinning rod, this is also the place for you. That one?
Yeah. Once you arrive in Pipestone, you'll realize what a beautiful place it is. We have eagles, the loons will sing to you at night. You might stumble across a bear swimming in the lake, big high rocks. Just a beautiful place to be.
The setup for bass was a floating line to a 9-foot 0x tapered leader and then the fly of choice. The setup for pike is a full sinking line to a 4-foot section of 10-pound test and to that an 18-inch section of wire bite leader and then the fly of choice. There we go. Yeah, another good size bass. Don't know if it's a smallmouth or a largemouth because they're both in here. It's a smallmouth. We were catching smallmouth and we put the camera down to see if we could see them, and it turned out where we put the camera down were all largemouth. So, oh, this is a good fish. Really nice fish. There you go. Now that's, we're getting there. Look at that. There you go. Very nice, very nice. Great.
Our boats are 17-footers. Some of them are Lunds Outfitters. We have some Misty Rivers, G3. They're all powered by new 50 horsepower Yamahas, very dependable. Electric trolling motors on the front for the guys that like to bass fish. And then if you don't like the electric motor up front, the tiller 50 horses are great to fish. All our boats are equipped with sonars, so you know what depth you're fishing in and kind of help you to find the fish, so makes your job a little bit easier.
There we go. I struck when I seen that the fly disappeared because I can see the fly quite clearly here. And I might have one of them largemouths. Not sure yet. Yeah, it looks like a largemouth. Ah, thank you. Now, largemouth. How do you tell the difference? The mouth ends behind the eye. If it was a smallmouth, the mouth would end in front of the eye. And a largemouth has a stripe down the side, where smallmouth have vermicular stripes, and they're brown. These are green. Wait until he's ready to kick. He's just about there, and away he goes. Well, we run out of time for today. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'd like to thank Todd and Carrie Baker of Cedar Island Lodge for their hospitality. For more information on this show and others in our series, you can find us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us. Tight lines, and we'll see you next week.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Ontario Sunset Country Tourism Association, GoFishingOntario.com, Orvis Sporting Traditions, Scientific Anglers, Umpqua Feather Merchants, Superfly, fly fishing made easy.